Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. It is Hampton and Corey here. You know, as I think about some of the topics that we talk about, a lot of these things are things that I feel like I learned when I was a kid, you know, and you get tired of your parent or teacher or coach telling it to you, and then you grow up and you realize, oh, they actually meant something by that. And today's could be one of those things. I'm just going to tell you like the subject line of it, and we'll let Corey roll with it. Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut.
Man, Hampton, that's super aggressive.
Hey,
for the Leadership Spark podcast. My goodness. No, I think that I've seen this happen a couple of times, Hampton, over the last couple of months. And what the intent that we have in saying that is that words matter. And sometimes, even if it's fair and even if it is logical, sometimes the most important thing you can do is not say it. And I'll give you a question that you can ask every time where you think that in just a second. But there are things that you can say that, and you know this, once the words come out of your mouth, what happens? You can never what?
You can't take it back.
Can't take it back, right? And so once they're out there, once you say something, and oftentimes this is an issue of self-regulation, right? This is, hey, I'm in this context, and whether it's by principle or something emotionally triggered me, I say something and it has a negative effect. And you don't want that happening as a leader, because you could do that with your peers, you could do it with your boss, you could do it with your team. And once it's out, you can never take it back. And now you're doing damage control. And when you're doing damage control, when you say something that is offensive to someone else, or you say something that doesn't add value, then whether you draw this conclusion or not, trust is impacted and trust erodes. And trust is your currency as a leader. And if you lose that, then you lose influence. And if you lose your influence, you can't lead. And so the question that I always ask, and this has happened a couple of times in the last, let's say, 6 to 8 weeks, where I've watched a leader say something a couple of different times where it's like, why did you say that? Because there's absolutely nothing good, even if you're justified in saying it, there's absolutely nothing good that will come out of that. In fact, the people that previously would fight for you are no longer going to feel like they're going to fight for you because you just said something that just you didn't have to say, even if it was principally correct. And so the question I would encourage you and anybody listening to this to ask, when you find yourself in a situation where, and hopefully there's a filter, right? Hopefully you think something and there's a filter that it goes through in your mind. Hopefully you're not to the point to where whatever you think you say, because good luck with that in trying to influence people. So the filter that you have when you think something, before it comes out of your mouth, ask yourself the question, will this add value or not? Will it add value? And if it will add value to this relationship, if it will add value to the situation, the context, the team, whatever it is that I'm around, or the problem we're trying to solve, if it adds value, then say it. If it doesn't add value, I would encourage you to pause and think about it. You may still say it, but you may think of a more effective way to say it, right? That wouldn't be this spur of the moment thing that may be emotionally driven, that may not get the outcome that you want. And so this whole idea of sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut is really thinking about what you're saying, think about the impact, think about the value it brings. And if it brings value, say it. If it doesn't, pause, regroup, maybe bring the emotional intensity down a little bit, and think about the most effective way to communicate it, if at all. There's been a lot of times I would think something and it's like, I may be right and justified, but I would never say that because it doesn't add value. And so if you find yourself in that situation, which all leaders do, and this is not just being a leader at work, right? This is in all of your life, right? This is in your relationships outside of work, inside of work, where you can apply this. But sometimes it's better just to keep your mouth shut and not say it unless it adds value. And so you're going to do is to put that filter in place, ask yourself the question, when you're in that triggered moment, does it add value or not? If it does, feel free to communicate. If it doesn't, take a pause, step back, and find a better way to communicate it.